Hello, welcome back to my channel. I've got a quick video today. It's a video I don't usually do. I'm going to call it a haul video, but really I think it's just quite difficult for people in the UK to actually source ephemera and things that you can actually use in your junk journals or crafting and collaging, because we don't really have like yard sales or estate sales, and although we do have charity shops which are probably like thrift shops, they're quite difficult to find really. When I'm watching American YouTubers, the things that they can get, I think, well, we never see those in our charity shops. The car boot's opened this weekend and I'm absolutely thrilled. I was up early this morning, went out, and it was amazing. So I just thought I would share these to maybe give you some inspiration of where you could get junk journal supplies from. Car boots are an ideal place. I will show these things first because it's quite difficult to get everything on screen, and then I'll show you some of the other things. So these were like the fabrics that I've managed to find. One lady was selling like tablecloths and things, not serviettes, napkins, all sorts of things, table runners. So I bought this tablecloth. I really don't think I'm going to be able to get it all in screen, so I won't open it all out, but basically each quarter is kind of the same. So you've got like the two little motifs here and here, and then one big motif, and that's on each of the four corners. There's nothing in the middle, and that's okay. My idea really is to cut these out and then use them either on tags or like that. I'd probably use I'd make that the journal cover, or pockets, things like that. But that's always my plan, and then when I get these things I just can't bring myself to cut them up, so we will see. I don't know, but that was that one. She was also selling this crochet little table mat. I got this for 30p. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you the prices. That's like the best bit of it. For this tablecloth, which when I've measured it, I think it was over a metre square, with 4 big motifs, the 2 little ones, so that's like 4 threes, 12, usable elements. 50p for this. I just couldn't believe it, really. 50p. This, the crochet little sort of placemat or table mat, she only wanted 30p for. And as soon as I saw this, I thought, well, there's at least 6 kind of flowers or circles that you can make out the middle of it, and then all around the outside there's all these individual little flowers. So whether you left them as sort of 3, for example, and use that to edge something, or cut them out and use them as individual flowers, but there's absolutely loads on there for 30p. Couldn't believe it. This tablecloth she wanted 50p for. It is immaculate, it's absolutely gorgeous. This again is over a metre square. It's got a gorgeous crochet lace edging all the way around, really deep, loads of use out of that. And then in the middle is this lovely circular area. Again, loads to use out of that. But again, I've opened that out and I just can't seem to bear to want to cut that up. So whether that'll ever get used. And then finally, out of the cloths, from the same lady, was this. This tablecloth is, I think it was nearly 2... Was this nearly 2 metres? It was almost 2 metres squared. It's the most gorgeous linen. I would say it has never been used. It certainly has the feeling of not having been washed. It's quite, stiff. It's immaculate. And just full of these gorgeous, this is absolutely full of all this gorgeous embroidery. I love these little flowers probably the best, but just seeing that there, it's just gorgeous, really. And this she wanted £1 for. Honestly, it's just full of things to cut out really and use. But again, I don't actually think I'm going to be able to cut it out and use it. I will just probably put it on a table and, I don't know, probably keep stroking it and looking at it. But anyway, my plan was that it would be used in junk journals, but I just don't think I can. But honestly, I would really recommend car boots. These are not things I find very often. You do often find people selling things like this, but they either want a ridiculous amount of money for them or they're stained, whereas this is just immaculate. So that was my fabric things. From a different lady, I couldn't believe this either. These are actually Marks and Spencer's fragrance to drawer linings, but as soon as I saw that package I thought, I don't think they're going to be very fragrance because this looks old to me. And I was right, because when I looked, it's actually Marks and Spencer's 1991, and then you think, oh, it's not that old, and then you think, oh my goodness, it's actually 30 years old, which is quite a shock. But anyhow, St Michael's, which is Marks and Spencer's, Country House. These were fragrance drawer linings. They'd never been opened. I have opened them because in my excitement I just had to look when I got home. And these are, I mean, I'm actually going to use the box as well because I love this lattice here. I could imagine that just as a journaling card. I probably wouldn't use that bit, but I mean, there's all this beautiful lattice for journal cards or tucks, pockets, just gorgeous. And then the paper itself is, I'll try and open it out. It's like a trellis rose kind of design on that one. I mean, it looks vintage, it is vintage. And to say this is 30 years old and someone has literally just kept it, never lined their drawers with it. And I did think it would only be the size of a drawer, but actually there's really quite a lot on there. So that was that one. But then my utter favourite one is this. And oh, I don't know, I wish I could paper my bedroom in that. I just love it. So that was a bargain. 50p she wanted for those. This was something else that I've had as well. These are they're all from between 1964 and 1969, and it was apparently from a dairy. And they're their old ledgers, and I personally love old writing. I wish my writing was like this. To be fair, I can't actually read it, but I just love how it looks. I like the way it's printed. I like the natural cream that it's gone because it is naturally aged. Even the printed pages are just lovely. There are even perforations in this, so when I come to take them out, they'll be easy to actually use. Obviously there are lots of plain pages in these as well as the filled ones, so I love that. That's a ledger book. And then these, I think I got 3 of these altogether from 3 consecutive years, a scribbling diary. And I mean, to say it was a scribbling diary, somebody kept this very neat. March 1965, and it's all about the farm, because this is like eggs, milk for calves, what else is in here? Cash to the bank, feed. So you know, and although they're crossed through and whatever else, there's so much history in here, and I just love it. And there are blank areas, so you could even cut that strip out and use that as an edging on a page. I just really like these, and these just sort of came with the ledger books. I do love old things. And then I think, oh yeah, now I have got a few other things to show. This, I bought a few games of these from Car Boots. This is, I have to say, probably the worst kind of state one that I've bought. I even love the little book. I think that would make a nice little insert into a journal. And these are those cards that just have the letters on. I have bought them in much better condition than these. These are a bit kind of, grubby really. But I think maybe with the clean they'd be okay. They're quite nice for tucking in. They can either be used to personalise a journal, or if you wanted to spell a word, or a lot of people actually use these for weddings. But yeah, I'll probably just clean them up hopefully, and then I'll be tucking them into journals. So that was the lexicon game. Then a man was selling he wanted a lot of money really for these, because he was also selling further down his table, and obviously they were the ones that were valuable because he got them in polythene and they were protected. But these are not valuable in monetary terms, but for me as a junk journaler, they're valuable. This is a receipt from 1945 from the Queen's Hotel in Farnborough, It was for rooms, so that would be 12 shillings and sixpence for the apartments, and she must have had it on the week 29 and week 30. I've no idea, 12 shillings, not really, it went decimal the year I was born. The receipt is tucked onto there, and I just love seeing that, 1945 December, so actually that perhaps somebody treated themselves at the end of the war, don't know. Miss Stratton, whoever she was, went to the Queen's Hotel, so that's lovely. Oh, this, a telegram. I've actually never held a telegram, and I was quite thrilled when I held this. I hope that this brought happy news, really. Well, it did bring happy news, but I hope there was still a happy outcome, because this was actually from 1941. And it reads, return to Cheltenham, will write later, love Tony. And that was from, I'm guessing it was probably either August 41, but anyway, yeah. So that's really, you know, quite history. I don't know if I could bear to part with that now I've got it. A bit like my tablecloths, really. And these are just some old envelopes. They all seem to be addressed to the same person, this Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence. Yeah, they're all Lawrence. In Bewdley, which is just down the road from where I live. They've obviously come from America, so it's from somebody in America to them. But they're really lovely. There's some old Christmas stamps on there. The writing is really what gets me. That is my favourite. Green is my favourite colour. And the style of that, just lovely. It's come from Milwaukee in Wisconsin. 1957 that was. I think these are all from the 50s. Yeah, 1956. But these are just interesting. You can embroider on them. They can actually be the front of a cover. There's a journal that I want to do that somebody did about 3 years ago, and I'm still trying to get around to making one of those. But yeah, they were just interesting little envelopes. And then somebody else had got this old music book. This, I cannot believe this, but I've looked it up and it is true. This is from 1929. The copyright is 1929. And I mean, to think that this is 90, what is it? Anyway, 90 odd years old. I mean, it's absolutely immaculate. I absolutely love this. Obviously, there is some aging, although I'm not sure there is. I think this might actually be the colour that the pages were, rather than bright stark white. They might have been cream, but I just can't believe that this is 90 odd years old and it's so pristine. So this is obviously lovely to use in your junk journals. So anyway, that is enough rambling from me. I just wanted to show you what I've been buying recently, and just to hopefully give you an idea of, it is worth keeping your eye out at car boots, because it is quite a good place in the UK to get your junk journaling supplies. Right, that is all from me today, and thank you for stopping by. Bye bye.